Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we are diving deep into, well, a corner of the healthcare system that often feels pretty frustrating.
You mean insurance claims processing?
Yeah.
Definitely not known for being smooth.
Exactly. It's this complex dance, patients, providers, insurance companies, and it feels like someone's always tripping. Lots of inefficiency, lots of headaches.
Oh, absolutely. If you've ever gotten a confusing bill, or worse, a denial, you know the patient side.
Right.
And for doctors, clinics, hospitals, it's a constant fight. Lost revenue, huge admin costs. Denials are a big part of that.
And our sources really point out it's often not super complex reasons, is it?
No, surprisingly often it's like simple stuff. A typo in a code, maybe missing paperwork, wrong patient info. And that means staff spend hours, literally hours, just appealing things. One source called it a chaotic symphony of inefficiency. Kind of paints a picture.
It really does. A very loud, discordant symphony. But okay, that's where AI comes in, potentially.
Yes, exactly. The potential here is huge. Taking this mess and making it smoother, faster, more accurate.
So AI as a helping hand,
Mm.
not just automation, but something to speed things up and, importantly, tackle issues like fraud.
Precisely. Making it faster, more accurate, and helping root out fraud. That's the promise.
Okay, faster approvals, less fraud. That sounds like a tune we want to hear.
Mm.
So in this deep dive, let's get into the sources. How exactly is AI making this happen? Focusing on that speed and the fraud reduction aspect.
Right. Let's jump in. One of the first big hurdles, and maybe most time-consuming parts, is medical coding.
Oh, okay. Translating what the doctor did into those specific codes insurance understands.
You got it. ICD-10 for diagnoses, CPT for procedures. It's absolutely vital for billing, but wow, it takes time and real expertise.
Seems very manual. Very reliant on the coder's knowledge.
Traditionally, yes, but AI is changing that. It's like a virtual coding assistant now.
How does that work? Is it reading the notes?
Pretty much. Using things like natural language processing, NLP, allows the AI to actually read and understand medical records, the doctor's notes, all that documentation.
Okay.
And then machine learning lets it learn from tons of past examples. So it analyzes the new info and suggests the most likely, most appropriate codes.
Suggest them. So the human is still involved. Like a co-pilot, maybe?
That's a great analogy, yeah. The AI does the initial heavy lifting, suggests the codes. Then, the sources say, staff can just review and confirm. Instead of spending, say, half an hour coding from scratch, maybe it takes minutes.
Wow, okay. That's a huge time saver right there.
Massive. Think about a medium-sized clinic. That kind of time saving, plus fewer errors because the AI is consistent, could mean tens of thousands of dollars saved annually. Faster coding, faster submission.
Tens of thousands is serious.
Oh.
Okay, so coding gets faster, more accurate, but then there's prior authorization. Huh. Always seems to slow things down.
Oh, it's a major source of frustration for everyone. Patients waiting, providers chasing approvals.
So can AI predict the future there?
Sort of. It uses AI for prior authorization prediction. Based on all the data of past claims, payer rules, the patient's history, the service needed to know, it predicts which services are likely to need that prior auth.
Before you even submit the claim.
Or even before the service sometimes. It flags the probability.
Okay, important point though. It predicts the need for it, not whether it'll actually get approved.
Exactly. It's about identifying that hurdle early, being proactive.
Right.
So the practice can start gathering the documents, submit the request way sooner, cuts down that admin chase, frees up staff, again, speeds up that whole pre-service bottleneck.
Okay, speeding up coding, predicting prior auth. Both big wins. But what about outright denials? That seems like the biggest cash drain and time sink.
Yeah.
How does AI prevent those directly?
Yeah, this is key. AI acts like a really smart claim scrubber, much smarter than the old rules-based checks.
A scrubber. How does that work?
Before the claim even goes out the door, the AI scans it. It compares it against this huge database, pair rules, clinical guidelines, even patterns from past denials.
Looking for potential mistakes.
Exactly. Errors, inconsistencies. Things a human might miss or would take ages to find, like maybe the diagnosis code doesn't usually go with that procedure code.
Like a mismatch.
Right. The AI flags it.
Yeah.
It might even suggest a better, more common combination it's seen in millions of other claims.
So you fix it before it gets denied.
That's the goal. Catching and correcting errors up front means no need for resubmissions, no appeals, saves hours and hours.
And the impact. Do the sources quantify that?
They do. Even a 10% drop in denials could mean thousands of dollars back in revenue for a practice each year.
Just from catching errors proactively. Wow.
Yeah.
There was that anecdote too, right, about the rural GP.
Yeah, really striking. A general physician rural clinic implemented AI for coding help. Their denial rate dropped by 40%. 40!
40%, that's huge.
Huge. Led directly to more revenue, better financial stability. It shows this isn't just about, efficiency tweaks. It can be about keeping practices afloat.
It really connects the dots. Accurate coding, predicting off needs, scrubbing claims, it all builds towards getting paid faster and more reliably.
Exactly. A much smoother path for the provider.
Are there other areas AI is stepping into based on the sources? Beyond those core claim steps?
Yeah, definitely. One area is adapting to newer payment models, like bundled payments.
Okay, where you get one payment for a whole episode of care.
Right. Those are getting more common. AI helps here with risk adjustment.
Risk adjustment, what's that?
Basically, figuring out how complex or risky a patient is. AI analyzes their health history, other conditions, comorbidities.
And why does that matter for a bundled payment?
Because treating a sicker patient within that flat fee costs more. Accurate risk adjustment means the bundled payment can be adjusted upwards for those high-risk patients.
So providers don't lose money taking on complex cases.
Precisely. It ensures they're compensated fairly, which encourages them to actually participate in these value-based care programs.
Makes sense. Helps manage the financial side. Okay, and the other big goal we talked about, tackling fraud. Healthcare fraud is a massive, multi-billion-dollar issue. How's AI helping there?
It's becoming absolutely critical. Fraud schemes can be really complex, hard for humans to spot just looking at single claims.
Right.
AI, though, can analyze massive amounts of data claims, provider info, patient data way faster than any person could.
So it's looking for weird patterns across all that data.
Exactly. Statistical anomalies, billing frequencies that seem off, weird combinations of services, maybe even networks of providers and patients that look suspicious.
Things that just don't add up when you see the big picture.
You got it. Things like billing for services never done, or upcoding, identity theft. AI spots these patterns, sometimes really subtle ones, much faster.
And the result?
Insurance companies can flag and investigate suspicious claims much earlier, prevents paying out on fraudulent claims, saves the system enormous amounts of money.
So really, from coding the doctor's notes right through to spotting sophisticated fraud rings, AI seems to be touching pretty much every part of this process.
It really is aiming to streamline the entire life cycle.
But implementing this, it sounds like a huge undertaking. Building these systems, getting them working.
It definitely is. The source is stress. It needs a phased approach. You don't just flip a switch.
Right.
Key steps are things like, first, getting all the data together. Integrating from EHRs, billing systems, payer portals. Often these systems don't talk to each other easily.
Data integration, always a challenge.
Then choosing the right AI platforms, ones that can handle all that data, developing the specific AI models for coding or denial prediction or fraud detection, and crucially, building the connections, the APIs, and the interfaces so people can actually use it within their normal workflow.
Making it user-friendly and plugging it into what they already use.
Exactly. And implementation strategies, like the example from India and the sources, often involve starting small. Pilot projects.
Test it out first.
Yeah. Focus on high-impact areas first. Maybe use open-source tech to keep costs down. Collaborate with local experts. And definitely address data privacy right from the start. Provide lots of training, too. And, of course, follow all the local rules and regulations.
That data privacy point feels huge, especially with health info.
Oh, non-negotiable. Protecting patient data is paramount. You need really robust security measures, strict compliance with HIPAA here in the U.S., or whatever the local regulations are, like the ones mentioned for India. It has to be built in.
So stepping back, the picture from the sources is pretty clear. AI has this massive potential to clean up the claims process, make it more efficient, more accurate.
Definitely. It directly tackles those big pain points. Speeding things up for legitimate claims, getting providers paid faster, and adding powerful new ways to catch fraud.
Using AI for coding help, predicting prior auths, scrubbing claims before they go out, adjusting risk for new payment models, and that sophisticated fraud detection. It moves things away from that chaotic symphony.
Towards something much more streamlined, more cost-effective for everybody.
And the end game, really, is reducing that administrative headache, saving costs, making providers more financially stable.
Which hopefully lets them focus more on actual patient care, not paperwork.
Yeah. A smoother, faster, maybe fairer system for everyone involved.
That's the ideal, isn't it?
It really is. So thinking about all this, how AI can automate so much, optimize so much of the claims side, shifting that focus back to patients. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What new challenges or maybe opportunities pop up in this changed landscape? What things will still absolutely need that unique human touch from doctors, nurses, administrators, even with all this powerful AI helping out? Something to chew on as this tech keeps evolving.